Hey everyone, Lisa Chastain. I'm back, segment 3. Money is Sexy on the Geeks Are Sexy show this Friday afternoon, and I have my second guest, Taya Thompson.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
I know it was kind of last minute, so I appreciate you jumping into the forefront.
Hey, I'll take any time with you at all.
Totally.
It's a blessing.
Totally. Yeah. Taya's one of my sisters, my NABO sister. She's also a part of the Femme Mentorship with me. So we've just jumped into life together and the world of entrepreneurship together.
Absolutely.
What's funny is when we met, we were both financial advisors, and now neither of us are financial advisors anymore, right?
I'm taking some private clients on the side,
Right.
but yeah, my passion has changed for sure.
Yeah, so we're going to talk all about that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I'm a money coach. We're still in finance, but there's a lot that's new from when we met.
Absolutely.
Right? And in like just a year.
That's it?
Yeah.
How quick life can change.
It is. This theme this week is really about transitions. And I
Makes
opened
sense
up
with the new year,
with the new year.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I opened up with some tips about how having control of your finances can help you weather transition because you feel more secure. But also, I love that you're on the show today because you're going through a transition with your career. And I
Yes.
think that there's a lot to share. Look at all these amazing things. We're going to hear all about Crooked Cactus, and it's not just a transition for you, but it really is a transition in the space of natural medicines or natural home care. So I'm saying not very
Absolutely.
technical terms. But it's a big transition in and of itself. So before we get into Crooked Cactus and your story about that, what are you geeking out about?
Oh, I am geeking out, like probably many of us with the new year, just geeking out on really my word. Do you do a word for the year?
No. Oh, yes, I did a word.
Okay, so I kind of do the same thing, and this year my word was wanting to be focused around discipline,
Okay.
but I didn't.
like
I'm
that.
such a rebel that I didn't want to be disciplined. I didn't want to discipline myself, so I came up with self-mastery. So and also
Okay.
personal effectiveness. So being just super conscious and having clarity and going for it and being as efficient as possible and
Yeah.
getting shit done.
Getting some shit done. Totally. Getting shit done.
Yeah, so-
But with clear, my word this year is intention.
I love it.
With clear intention. And self-mastery, if you're going to be clear in your intention, you have to learn how to have self-mastery.
Absolutely.
To get and we talked about vision. Having a vision, even though things are in transition, keeps you grounded. Right?
Yeah, and you know, I was a financial advisor before, but had always worked for a company. So although I've always been entrepreneurial in spirit, I have never actually been an entrepreneur. And but most of my clients were. That's how they made their millions, is owning businesses and creating things.
It's a great way to invest in yourself, opening a business.
Absolutely. But they all say, and it is true, maybe you can say this as well, but you have to be crazy.
You have to be crazy. So funny, yeah. So we'll get There's a money type quiz that I offer to my clients
Yes.
that my mentor gave to me. So I have my clients take the money type quiz, and almost all of the business owners that I work with are the delusional money type.
Yes.
So we have
There
to be a
has
little
to be
crazy.
some kind of delusion in there for you to think that you're going to quit that steady job and work longer for less for
Yeah.
a long period of time to be able to reap the benefits of being an entrepreneur. And it takes a little bit longer
It does.
and it costs more. So that's kind of where my transition space is right now, is just figuring that out and mastering myself and having that that clarity about where I'm wanting to go, because the reason why we do this is to live the life that we love,
It is.
and to be able to design it on our terms.
It is.
And so I really am geeking out on that personal effectiveness so that I can live my life. Like,
Yes.
I've got kids, I've got travel plans, I've got things that we want to do.
Yes.
We don't want to be slaves to our businesses.
We don't. One thing I really admire about you is that no matter what's going on, you are living your life. From
Oh,
what I
thank
can
you.
tell. Yeah. So you're always going somewhere. You're always up to something with the kids or traveling, and so it's really inspiring to watch.
Oh, well, I really appreciate that observation, because it's really a mantra for us. You know, we had a tragedy over Christmas in our family, and it's just proven that life is too short.
It's too short.
Too short.
You're right. And so speaking of that, this is a new concept of yours, And CBD in general is such a hot topic. Cannabis all over the United States is a hot topic right now. So there's risk involved with what you're doing. So you have to be crazy and you have to be willing to take risk.
Absolutely.
Right? So
Absolutely.
tell us about, I would love for the viewers, your viewers, my viewers, to really hear your story about why Crooked Cactus, and then we'll talk a little bit about Crooked Cactus.
So for my people, my tribe, you know that I have a son who was born with Down syndrome. And for the first 3.5 years of his life, I really thought I hit the Down syndrome jackpot. Like it was relatively easy. And I thought, gosh, what did I have to worry about? But then he went through a significant transition where he had severe regression. He lost all his communication skills, all his motor, fine motor skills. Behavior started coming up. He was basically kicked out of school, kicked out of therapies.
Wow.
And he just became a shell of the kid that we once knew and loved unconditionally. So that started us on a journey of massive advocacy and persistence to get him the treatment that he needed and the diagnosis, so that we even had answers on where to go and what to do.
Yeah, that's scary. I bet that was scary.
Very tough time for our family. I mean, it didn't only affect him, but the whole entire family dynamic. Right. So he eventually was diagnosed with ADHD, placed on the autism spectrum, and then also a seizure disorder.
Okay.
And by the time we got to that point, you know, the realm of doctors that we were working with, of course, had a lot of suggestions for pharmaceutical cocktails.
Right. Right.
And both of my parents are registered nurses, and we just made a decision as a family that the consequences long term for those pharmaceuticals was far too great, and it set me off determined to find another way.
Another solution.
That brought me to cannabidiol, or CBD, hemp oil.
Okay, so what is that?
So cannabidiol is a cannabinoid compound within the cannabis plant.
Okay, so it's still a part of the cannabis plant.
Part of the cannabis plant, just like THC. So THC is what people seek when they're wanting to get stoned or high.
Got it.
It's the compound that when it's inside your body and activated, it's what gives you the psychoactive effects.
Okay, got it. So it's not that.
It's not that.
Okay.
But they're the same compounds called cannabinoids that are inside the plant.
Okay.
Cousins, let's say.
Makes sense. So it's a cousin.
A cousin.
Got it. Okay.
So these compounds, when they get into our bodies, you know, work much as they do when they're in the plant. They boost immunity. They ward off, sickness. They keep us healthy. They transport oxygen. You know, and they have all of these therapeutic and healing benefits. And so when we take it into our bodies, we have an endocannabinoid system, just like all mammals and the plants do.
Wow.
And so those therapeutic and medicinal benefits translate into our systems as well.
Got it. I learn something new every day. Yeah.
Did you know you had an endocannabinoid system?
I didn't. And you have an endocannabinoid system.
And you have an endocannabinoid system.
And you get that too. Okay, cool. So then you decided, with connection to your son, you saw that somehow that could translate to helping him.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we started him off on the oil. At the time, this was 3 years ago, it wasn't as prevalent as it is today.
Sure.
And we as a family, it seemed like a difficult decision because of the legality. We had a family member that actually had to drive to Colorado, buy the oil, and bring it across state lines at risk of being prosecuted.
Sure.
Because back then it wasn't very clear as to whether it was legal or not.
Right.
I had attorneys telling me that my kid could be taken away from me and put into child protection services.
Right.
As a financial advisor, we're federally licensed, right? So I had the risk of getting licenses stripped away or getting a mark on my public advisor U4
Isn't that
form.
amazing that a plant could cause all of that?
Well, and that's the point, is that once we educated ourselves on what it was and what it's not, and it's a plant, we chose the plant over the pharmaceutical, and that for our son, it was worth all of the risks.
It sounds like it. And so in a few descriptions of what changed for your son.
So his language started coming back. Well, first and foremost, his seizures are completely suppressed.
Wow.
As long as he's on the oil, he does not have any seizures at all.
Wow. Wow.
Language started coming back, and therefore he was able to communicate his wants and needs, and so the behaviors reduced.
So he wasn't as frustrated because he communicated.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because now he can say he's hungry, or he had the cognitive processing ability to sequence and be able to say, oh, I feel a sensation, it's hunger, let me go to the cupboard and get some chips, you know? Whereas before, he wouldn't even be able to do that.
What a transformation.
Yeah, it's just pretty amazing.
That is amazing. And so then you were like, hey, if we can do this at home, this is my thought. Like, you tell me, what were you thinking? So eventually you were like, let me launch a line and help other people? Or what? How did Crooked Cactus come about?
So it's funny because, and for both of our audiences, if you've ever thought about entrepreneurship, really get present, like we talked about earlier, because the answer could be right in front of you. Like,
That's
we've
true.
been working with CBD and my son for a few years before we decided that, hey, this could really be an opportunity. And not just because of the money aspect, but because we want to help people.
Right.
We didn't want other families to have to go through what I went through, and have to experience as much of the fear and the stigma and the confusion.
Right.
And the industry that it is right now, with no regulation and no oversight, there's a lot of people out there that are selling snake oil. And I had a few friends who went out and bought stuff off the internet because they saw our experience and wanted to try it, and they did not get good quality.
So not a trusted
product.
source.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
And so we thought, hey, let's do it, because we have the knowledge, we have the experience, and let's get people educated on what it is, shorten that learning curve, and start allowing families to have more access to information and quality and safe products so that they can harness the power of the plant like we did.
Right. I think that's so inspiring that you found, so this is how a lot of entrepreneurism happens, is that someone sees an opportunity or they see a hole in the industry and you say, I'm going to forge it. Like, I'm going to help somebody because it's not on the market yet. And that's, I watch Shark Tank all the time.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it happens. Hey, there's a problem in my life, and let me solve it. Now let me help others solve it.
Absolutely.
And you've done just that.
Yeah, I mean,
so we'll see you on Shark Tank.
I don't know about that.
So let's see some of your oils. First of all,
so,
if anybody's interested in learning more, where can they go?
So the best place to find me is just on Facebook, at Crooked Cactus CBD.
Okay.
Or my personal page. I mean, I'm wide open, transparent. Taya Vance Thompson on Facebook.
Right.
And then also we have Crooked Cactus, which is our product page.
Okay.
But we also have a page called CBD Chicks.
Oh,
and
cool.
that is all education. So that's not specific to one product. It's not specific to a particular type of administration. We're just spreading the word. And if anybody out there that's watching has used CBD and has a success story, I would love to hear from you.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I would like to be able to do something like this and really share those success stories so people get that anecdotal information on how they started, what it can be used for, etc.
Let's have you and maybe some other guests on the show. Next time I do the show, we'll talk more about it. Because I geek out about money, which we're going to have you and Katie back on here in a minute, and we'll talk more about money. But I really geek out about the way that we can position ourselves to live the lives that we ultimately want to live. Up front, it's a lot of work. So entrepreneurism is not as, elegant or extravagant. I think sometimes at the beginning, for sure.
It's not as sexy as people.
It's not. We might look really sexy because we put makeup on today. But yeah. I love me some pajamas too. I nap behind my computer. All right, let's see a couple of oils and then we'll close out the segment.
So there's a few different ways that you can administer CBD.
Okay.
So one of the most popular is ingesting it through a sublingual, so under the tongue, an oil called a tincture. And so it's just comes in a dropper. You know what? I'm going to open this one. It's an oil base. These are very safety sealed.
Yeah, I think while you were doing that, I would say there's it's really important for you, for anybody watching, to do your homework and find reliable sources. And we know Ty is credible; she's done her homework. But if you reach out, there's a ton of information out there. So we just want you to be safe in whatever it is you're consuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a tincture. It comes in a dropper. You can see it's colored there because this is what's called full spectrum. So it contains the full plant profile.
It smells like the plant.
And it smells like the plant.
Ooh,
so that's
it does.
So that's one of the things that you can look for when you're shopping for CBD is unless there's an aversion to any THC at all, you really should be using a full spectrum product because it contains the other terpenes, the flavonoids, the other cannabinoids, all of the different amino acids, all the good stuff that comes in the plant.
Okay.
Yep. So that's just a tincture, few drops under your tongue every day. It goes in, it helps to restore that endocannabinoid system and really starts helping your body to heal naturally.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Then we have a solution that is a 0 THC product. So this is only CBD. It's what's called an isolate product. And
we're going over our segment time, but it's totally worth it.
You smell that? No plant material.
Nothing.
Yeah, because it's just the CBD.
Okay.
And this is in a vegetable glycerin, so it's just naturally sweet.
Very cool.
No additives or preservatives
and the kids don't mind
anything like that. Nope. They just lick it right off the spoon. And then we have a tincture that is for dogs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so the dogs, all mammals have that system in them.
Endocannabinoid
System.
Said it right.
You get a gold star.
Woo!
So the dogs can take that too, and it can help reduce inflation and mood disorders and digestive issues, like it does in us humans.
Amazing. And then you have oils, so you have essential oils.
Yep. So that is a big differentiator between our company and others, is with our topicals, we also include a therapeutic essential oil profile.
Beautiful.
That are all crafted specifically for either a relax, a relief, or a recover.
Sounds like a Friday night cocktail. Relax, relief, recover.
Yeah. So there's our
and
salve.
How does that smell? Ooh, that smells really nice.
Again, full plant, full spectrum in there, so you get the plant product, and then the essential oils as well. And that's just a balm that you rub on. And then we have, a variety of flavors in roller balls.
Love it.
So an oil.
I love it. So we tried the oils. I had it shoulder sticking, and other femmes were together, and we were complaining about our entrepreneur bodies and how sore we were, and we tried them, and it really did provide relief. So it was a fun experience.
Yeah.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I hope that you learned something. Watching Taya, we'll have you back on. We'd love to have you back on with some guests and talk more about your product and learn more about this whole field. It's risky and it's exciting and it's up and coming. And I'm so grateful to know you and really want to acknowledge you for the journey to be able to go out and do this.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
I can say the same about you.
Love you.
Love you.
Okay. Come back for segment 4. We'll see you in just a minute.